We are with Conversations for College Success, and I'm here with Cassie David, who's going to answer a few questions as it relates to how he got to the United States and decided to attend college, actually two colleges here in the United States. So, Cassie, let's start with how did you get to the United States and why did you pick Morehouse College as your first college?
Okay, well, thank you, Charlene. So back in Trinidad, um, I would say during my junior year, there was one guy in my school who got a scholarship the year before and went to Morehouse. And so that's my first real experience, my first real exposure. And then Morehouse College itself was doing a lot of heavy recruiting internationally, right? And so there's the points where the president of Morehouse at the time actually visited my high school. I actually saw him, in my physics class. So that also piqued my interest. And then I started to read more about the school, more about the legacy. It convinced me that I should at least apply. I applied and luckily I got a scholarship. And so at that point, it was an easy decision to attend Morehouse College.
All right. And then we were talking about, you said it was originally designed for preachers and teachers.
Well, yeah. So, it's something that's said, coming out of Reconstruction, a lot of these HBCUs, certainly Black colleges, universities, I mean, their mission was to train the next generation, to educate the next generation of Black people. So, and again, even within that, it's built in the legacy of community involvement, legacy of giving back to community, which I think is still very relevant today to Malta's mission and goals. It's still very evident in, the courses that it's taught, the extracurricular activities, just the mystique of the school, I would say. And so, yeah, so I think that's something that, again, that is very relevant. And, again, another one of the reasons why I went to attend more scholarship.
And one of the things I've also heard is it helps to build confidence.
Oh, absolutely. Because again, people may criticize HBCUs in terms of saying, oh, this is not the true experience, this is not the real world. But on the other side, they forget that these colleges instill it's a sense of duty, which is one thing. You learn much more of your own history, which is the second thing. And then the legacy of the people that actually went there. So I went to Morehouse College, Martin Luther King, it's not one of the most famous alum. Spike Lee, Samuel Jackson, and so through all of that, you start appreciating the connection you have, right? That legacy, and that instills a lot of confidence. So I never felt unprepared, I would say, going out into the quote unquote real world after having gone to school at Morehouse.
That's perfect. And then did you do your internships before first job and went to get your master's or after?
So actually, at Morehouse during my summer, so starting with the end of my freshman year, I applied for and got this program that was sponsored by NSF, National Science Foundation. It's called the REU program, so Research Experience for Undergrads.
Oh, great.
Where you spent, 8 to 12 weeks doing research at one of the big research institutions in the US. For me at that time, I actually did it in the chemistry department at Ohio State.
Nice.
So I spent some summers working in chemistry departments, doing graduate level type, mentored by graduate students, helping them out in the lab and doing experiments like that. So I would say the experience definitely prepared me for later on in life, because it helps to be able to, show some type of differentiation for your future employers, right? So if you have that, you have an internship, you have some type of research experience on your resume, I mean, that shows you kind of going above and beyond. It shows that you have started to develop the skills that you would need going into either academia, which I did because I got my PhD at Georgia Tech.
Oh, neat.
Or going into industry type roles, right? So I would say, getting an internship / co-op type program definitely helps when you come to the point of applying for future jobs post-undergrad.
Absolutely. It shows that you're dedicated, but it also shows that you've got experience in your field.
Right.
And those are things that make a huge difference.
Absolutely.
You don't want your first job to be the first time you get experience in your field.
Exactly.
And quite frankly, employers don't want that. So that's perfect. Okay, so then what made you decide on science as your major?
So actually, for me, it actually harkens back to my mom. So growing up, my mom was a huge sci-fi fan, like from Star Trek, the original series, to Star Trek Next Generation, to Star Trek Deep Space Nine. That was the thing. And growing up, that was our Friday night tradition. It was Star Trek and stuff like that. So I was very interested in the kind of techie, fields, and so from back then, I always knew I wanted to get into science, and it just continued.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Glad to hear that. So now with that, where are you working now, and what's your position there?
Yeah, so I work for the Lubrizol Corporation, which is a specialty chemicals company headquartered here in Cleveland. And I work specifically in the engine oils group. So doing formulating in engine oils, I'm using our type of chemistry. And I'm a technology deployment manager.
Oh, nice.
In that thing.
Very, very nice. Now, how long have you been there?
So I've been at Lubrizol for 9 years.
Oh, very good. Oh my gosh, you're almost coming up on 10. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's fabulous. Now, think about, as a college student, what are some key things that current college students should know, and then what advice would you have for them?
Okay. In terms of key things, regardless of your high school performance, I would say, kind of thing. Some of us leave high school as perfectionists. We just maybe need to get that A all the time, that 4.0. Some of us leave high school still kind of discovering and still trying to figure things out. The good thing about it, the good news is that college is a proven ground. It's an environment that both types can develop and thrive in. Right? If you're still trying to figure it out, college helps you, right? Figure it out, kind of, if you've come and you're a perfectionist, well, again, the rigor of the classes and stuff like that, it's not high school anymore, right? You're on your own. You have to study. You have to set that schedule. You have to stick with it. So again, it allows you as a perfectionist to improve on those skills, right? To expand those skills. So, college is a good option, I think, for both groups. In terms of advice, and as cliche as it sounds, I would say that you should definitely use college, or while you're there, to step out of your comfort zone. These are 4 years that you have the opportunity to do things you would never think of doing, to do things that maybe you figure out you actually like doing, that whole trying to figure it out kind of thing. So yes, get out of your comfort zone. I mean, at Georgia Tech, it was grad school, but I did crew, I did water polo, all these different organizations to get involved with. So many different opportunities to see something different than what you're accustomed to. Mm-hmm. And I would say absolutely take advantage of that. These things are offered by colleges. Most times they're free. Right? You don't have to worry about paying for it. But it does give you a different perspective in terms of what's happening out there. And maybe, you came in thinking that you was majoring in one area, or, your life goal was this, but when you actually get a feel for and see different things, it might help cement your idea, change your mind. So, I would definitely say step out of your comfort zone, take advantage of your resources. All colleges offer these resources. It's part of their mission. It helps them recruit. Take advantage of it.
Absolutely. I want to share with my subscribers and listeners the key things that have been repeated by now 3 different graduates of college. One is to keep a schedule, that you are now responsible for your own studying, your study habits, those kinds of things, but also to get outside of your comfort zone. We've also talked about networking, informational interviewing, and as Cassie mentioned, just having different experiences which actually allow you to grow and come into yourself, to be honest with you. We all come in to some extent with our own experiences, but now it's your chance to experience so much more and come into your own is the best way for me to put that. Yeah. Become the person you were meant to be by the different diverse experiences that you have. Cassie, any last comments or thoughts that you'd like to share?
I would just say, again, in terms of the college experience, you shouldn't be turned off too much if you try something and fail. That's how we learn. You learn through failing. It's going to happen regardless of what you do. But it's really how you kind of pull yourself up after that. right? So don't be turned off. Don't be discouraged. You only learn through failing, maybe failing quickly and fixing it. But don't be discouraged and turned off by if that happens during your college career.
Absolutely. I want to take this time to thank Cassie David so much for his time, wisdom, and information.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You
Bye
too.
bye.
Bye.